Why would it be on?
Why would it be on?
Yo, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of It's Just My Opinion, where we give y'all just that. It's your boy XI.
It's your boy DA.
Creep Sosa in the fucking building.
And we got a special guest in the building, man. We got a Chicago legend, man. Rapper, songwriter, actor, activist, CPS board member, 5-time Grammy nominated, 2-time Grammy winner, Oscar winner, Golden Globe winner, Academy Award winner. Man, we got the legendary, the one and only, Rhymefest in the building, y'all.
Yeah. Rhyme fucking fest.
Love is a good thing.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank y'all.
You know, pulling up, man, sitting down, giving us some of your energy, man, and these stories you got, man.
Yeah. Hey, stories, that's how empires are built.
Facts.
Man, everybody in America only here because of a story called the Bible.
Facts.
Only here because of a story called, hey, the Boston Tea Party. Did you hear that story?
Yeah.
Did you hear the story of the Constitution? Or like the Islamic world. They there because of a story called the Hadith and the Quran. That, man, if you want to be great, learn how to tell stories.
Yeah.
Storytelling, everything.
And then like how you said, you started off with love. You know what I mean? I like that. Just like we had a brief conversation yesterday about love. So how important how important is love to you, and how do you implement it in like certain things, like how you just said with the stories and everything like that?
All right, let's go around the room. What define love?
I feel love is an action. I feel, you could say it until your face blue, but if the actions don't match it, then you can express it, but the actions of showing love, you may help someone, or you may embrace someone, or get someone through hard times. That's different forms of love to me.
Love, like you said, is definitely an action. You know what I mean? You have to. It's an action and it's a feeling. You know what I mean? I have to feel that you love me in order for me to react that way towards you, to show you love.
Yeah.
I feel the same way these black brothers just said. You know what I'm saying?
Action.
Love is an action. Well, it's a feeling too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you gotta. It's a reciprocation too, in a sense too, because it's like you can think you love somebody. You know what I'm saying? You could really think that you love somebody, and they may do something wrong or something, and you may feel a different way. You may say you love your woman, but you may cheat on her. You may say you love your kids, but if they do something wrong, you whoop their ass. Even though I'm not saying that's not love, but
Well, I think if you whoop their ass, that ain't not love. I mean, it could just be accountability.
Love, yeah.
Accountability,
Yeah,
which is a different kind of love.
Right.
And accountability is something that I think even as black men, we ain't loved each other enough with accountability. You know what I'm saying? As homies or whatever, because we don't want to get I ain't going to get in this way. I ain't going to, well, you probably not loving them. And I think the thing about the feeling, love might be less of a feeling. We might put too much importance on feelings that ain't love.
Yeah.
That we confuse with love.
Yeah, we confused with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think most people get a feeling and then say, I love you from the feeling, but that was lust, nigga. Or that was, you know what I'm saying? That was something else. That was your desire.
Yeah.
Because desires ain't love, but I think we think if somebody fulfill our desires, they must love us. Somebody be fulfilling, man, hey, you know what's crazy? People who I see fulfill the most people's desires, love them the least.
That's tough.
Yeah,
and people take it as love
Yeah.
because they think they getting what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
But you really getting enough rope.
That part.
You getting enough rope.
Yeah, because the
You know
thing
what I'm
behind it,
saying?
you don't know what a person's intentions is. So you can that person may be doing something that may be satisfying you at that moment, but they may have something totally different up their sleeve.
usually
for what
do.
they trying to gain. Yeah, absolutely.
You can have a friend that be around you because you get the bitches.
Yeah, for sure.
You can have a friend that they hang around me because I do cocaine. So
And he want the
he
blow.
want to get high.
Yeah, for free.
You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
But
But
you,
no, exactly. You too.
because you get the right one, Look, I had a homie like that. I had a homie that he was my close homie. And he used to, when I was married to my last wife, he used to help me cheat and get chicks that whatever, like, you know, and he'd be like, man, I'm gonna keep your secret, bro. I never tell. Boy, you know, I'm your homie.
And you was going every time.
Man, bro. And I ain't realize I was being put in the trick bag.
Yeah.
I ain't realize it though,
tell him again.
because he was the little homie.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at it like, oh, that's a little homie, but he got all the everything, you know? Yeah, he got the extra. And so, and you know, and he did keep my secrets. He never did say nothing or out me or nothing. But he wanted to rap, but he was weak. And he wanted it so bad, I wanted to keep him away from it. He wanted it so bad. Whatever he thought I had, like I introduced him to Ye, like when I go in places, I take him in the little spots he would have never got in, and he wanted it so bad that I was like, he can't have it, he'll kill himself, and I love him.
Yeah.
He wanted too bad.
Man.
And so, because I be looking at people's desires, and I be like, you want it so bad, you gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, he was my homie, and he'd always be like, yo, you know, I want to do a show, perform at the show. Like, he just wanted, you know, the use whatever the symbol he thought my name would help him. And one day I told him, hey, I don't want to do rap with you, bro. I just want to do friendship with you. And he was like, this is about 4 or 5 years later. He was like, all this time, you've betrayed me.
Oh, my.
That's what he hit you
He
with
told me.
first?
Then he looked at me like I was Judas and he was Jesus. He was like, you betrayed me. I said, how did I betray you? I didn't know that's what you was my friend for.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's crazy.
I knew it was what you wanted, but I just felt like now was the time to say that ain't what I want out of the friendship.
Right.
It's to supply your rap dreams. I want to just be your friend, and I think we could give more value, and you could go more places with the type of guy you are. It's more in you than that rap, like, because low-key you weak, and it ain't going to go nowhere, bro. Like, it don't go nowhere for people that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
You weak,
Yeah.
Really ain't going
and it really ain't going to go nowhere. Who am I? Because if it was going to go somewhere, you wouldn't need me to take you there. You be there.
Right. Now that's fact.
What was
You know
his
what I'm
genre, Rhymefest?
Huh?
What was his genre of music for you to say he was weak?
I mean,
Was he
anything he
like
thought
drill?
people liked.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what most people who desire it do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People who desire it so hard don't have no real center or compass about how they do it.
Yeah.
They just want to do what they think everybody like.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he'll do anything. So like I was just like, nah, bro. And then he was like, I'd rather not talk to you no more ever again. If you don't want to help me with my rap dreams, you're not supporting me. And he didn't realize, bro, I'm supporting you more than you
What
would
do you
ever
even
know.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
take you places and show you who you really are.
So he,
But you think and this is what it is with music, bro. A lot of people confuse music with their identity. They think that's who they are.
Yeah.
They ain't never been on a record label, got millions, got dropped because they didn't do this or do that or whatever, and then have to rediscover themselves because they put their identity into being on that label or being famous or whatever. They thought the fans thought of them. That was their identity. And then when the industry breaks that, you got to go rediscover yourself. And so those are some of the lessons I've had to go through. Those are some of the lessons, hard lessons I've seen other people learn, and I've seen artists learn as they famous as hell and then get older and new artists come along.
Yeah.
And now they not famous as hell no more and don't know who they are.
Yeah, they don't know how to adjust. Yeah, I seen that,
To
man.
time.
I seen it. No, it's just like, you know, when people go to prison and they been there for so long
Oh,
and they
yeah.
come out, they don't know how to adjust. It's just like artists that was real big and famous at one point in time and very popular, and when they lose that popularity and they not as on demand as they used to be, they don't know how to adjust to that, man. I seen it, and
It's an identity crisis.
yes, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Be careful what you how you identify yourself.
For sure.
You coming up in the rap game, I'm pretty sure you done had all type of friendships, regular street friendships, working a job friendship. What's the difference in a sense, your industry friends opposed to your real friends? Are the industry people a little bit more weirder, shall I say?
You know, everybody you work with, what I didn't understand earlier is I thought they was my friends.
Gotcha.
Them your colleagues.
That part.
That part.
Co-workers.
Co-workers.
Man, what?
Yes, sir.
Well, co-workers, but more, I think colleagues is closer than co-worker.
Okay.
Because co-worker could be the A&R, the engineer, the kind of administrative. Colleague is to make music, we got to have some type of chemistry and relationship
Yeah.
to even bring this spiritual thing forward, make it successful, and we might not be friends.
Got it.
Right.
But we close enough that we can align that energy
For sure.
Right.
and put it out in a way that may move the world. And in moving the world, how do we as scientists work together to keep approving that song, to get on the movie, split the money, you know, all the things that mathematically go along with the mechanism of capitalism. How do we do that together? And we didn't grow up together.
Facts.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So colleagues is like, we got to work a little closer.
Right.
Co-workers is, I go home, you go home,
Yeah.
Facts.
whatever. How you
We
like
see
the
you
game
tomorrow,
yesterday?
Yeah, 'cause, you know, some people don't understand though. You know, they get it mixed up.
For sure.
They're like, if I'm just like Will, like, you know what I'm saying? Not saying it like that, but I come to the studio. You know what I'm saying? It's business.
It's cut and dry.
It's cut and dry.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he ain't cool.
Yeah,
this,
y'all
that, and the
cool.
third,
Yeah.
But you know, but some people don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like you may do a song. Let's just say you doing a podcast with us, right? You already busting, you doing a favor, this, that, and the third. You man, that don't mean that every day we gonna kick it and we gonna go have this, that, and the third. I think some people think that too at times.
Yeah, that's because people looking for love in all the wrong places.
That part.
you
that
know what
part.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Or like a lot of times you have people that want to just be a part of it. They just want to be there. Like
Right.
to say, I was there with Rhymefest, or
Right,
I was there with
right,
Creep, or
right.
I was there with this person. You know, they want to take these pictures, or they may want to utilize you and your connections to build their own personal relationship with these people, you know? And you don't know what they going to say to these people about you to get to them. You see what I'm saying? So it's always that.
Yeah, but you know what, man? It don't even. I think sometimes we care too much about what people say,
Yeah.
and it really ain't got the value we place on it.
Facts.
Because
Man.
what people say, we be taking personal offense. But some old guy told me the other day, it ain't what you call me, it's what I respond to.
Exactly. Exactly.
What I respond to is
I
who
heard
I
that
am.
before.
That's dope.
That's dope as
I
hell.
I like
heard
that.
before.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That's dope. That's super dope.
And so when we respond to, like, you know, and when you got relationships, even if you bring a new person, you know what I'm saying? I bought Beezy today, right?
Yeah.
It's my man. Like, he helped me through the election, planting signs. We be rhyming together, doing all type of stuff. But if y'all form a relationship and he say something to you wayward about me, like, that don't reflect on me.
Right.
That
That don't
reflect
make
on
you
him.
that person.
It does,
right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
Yeah, that's just.
But if I get upset, like, oh, you create confusion, bro.
Yeah.
What I'm scared of.
Right.
Right.
That reflect on me.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, if you ignore it, well, the person that is coming from, of course, you know what I'm saying, you will start looking at them weird, like, you saying this about him? You know what I'm saying?
He
like,
bought
it's supposed
you.
to be your
Especially
homie.
if y'all
Yeah.
already got tagged.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
That's a character check.
That's
You know what
a
I'm saying? Like
character.
knowing
But people
around
who
you.
do that don't even realize that they highlighting their own self.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't see it.
Yeah, because you going to start watching, like, you saying this
respect
about
people
him?
that
I'm
do
definitely watching what I
Right,
say
going
around
forward
you.
with any other thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. But before we get too far, man, let's bring it back to the stories, man. Let's get into the backstory of Rhymefest, man. Like, where you from and where the name Rhymefest come from?
Yeah, man. I'm from the South Side. You know, I grew up in between Jeffrey Manor and South Shore. I be in South Shore with my mother and my aunt. I live with them. But then my grandparents, who raised me the other half of the time, was in Jeffrey Manor. Then my mama got a crazy boyfriend and left my aunt crib, and then started moving me around to like the worst neighborhoods in Chicago, where I got another lesson in poverty and what that looked like. You know what I'm saying? Over on 71st and East End and crazy. But this back in the 90s, before it was like, you're off the beach, and this is Huntsville, and this is, you know what I'm saying? It was you're on the low end. They're like, so, you know, a little bit all over the South Side, and a little bit of all. You know what's crazy about Chicago is, like, you could live in the same neighborhood, and one person be middle class in a nice crib, and around the corner somebody living up Section 8 or the projects.
Facts.
Y'all in the same, sharing the same neighborhood, having two whole different life experiences.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I grew up in just the kind of whirlwind of the South Side.
What high school did you go to?
I went to South Shore, and what's interesting, you know, like, Ye was college dropout. I was the high school dropout. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was being warehoused when I went to high school. And what the type of learning that was good for me, I would have did better if I went to Kenwood or Whitney Young or something like that, where when I was, let me fail, bro, and never said nothing until I got to my junior year. It was like, yo, you got to start all over.
Yeah, you got to start.
You ain't got enough to be a freshman. I'm like, bro, why you let me be a junior?
But your ass say they let you fail, huh? They let you make it that far.
Yeah, they left plenty of children behind. So, you said they let you fail.
You said they let you fail. Right.
It was them.
You ain't had nothing to do with it.
I was a kid. But yeah, it definitely was all me. I just didn't have the academic supports to even understand that I was failing or the consequences of failure.
Correct.
I had all of this talent, but fortunately for me, I had an auntie that was a teacher, and when I was young, from kindergarten to 5th grade, before she died, she would sit me at the table every day for 2 hours and be like, you're going to read, you're going to do mathematics, you're going to do this, like stuff that I wasn't doing in school.
Right.
So I was always able to think critically and know how to work my way out of something. Even when I was like, school boring, I'd rather do what I learned to do at the crib. And I think that's why shorties today is kind of so in a bad position, because the schools are better. Right. The schools are way better.
Yeah, way better.
Way better than when I went to school.
Man.
But what they don't got is that person at home to make them do 30 minutes of reading.
For sure.
That's where you get the core of your fundamentals.
Yep.
Is at home. Who's that person at home that's like, no, you're going to sit down, show me your math work. No, I got something for you. I want you to make up a story and write. It's that right there at the crib, bro, that you take to school to be successful. So with me, that you could remove the school and I'm still successful. Yeah. But with these shorties, they going to school, getting good grades, and still failing because home ain't got the support.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
They ain't got that love
you know what I'm
speak
saying?
on. They ain't got that love you speak on.
That is love, bro.
They ain't got that love.
And love, and what was one of the attributes we said of love? Accountability. Accountability might be the main.
For sure.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Attribute of love.
Man, you started rapping. I wanted to get in that.
Oh yeah.
You started off battle rapping first?
Battle rapping, I used to battle rap. The best guy in town was named Juice. Juice. And man, Juice was cold. Juice, I can't even remember, man, things he used to say to me, man, but I loved it because battle rapping is the art of the way we used to do it. Like now they do it different where you come up with a preacher sermon, you write it down, you learn your opponent, no beat. You know, back then they're throwing any beat. You got to rap to any beat, no matter what the tempo. And then Rap off the top of your head, bro.
For sure.
And talk about everybody in the room and this guy. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the art of freestyling. And Juice had a photographic memory. And he would just break me down, bro, so much that what it really taught you was how to not care about what people said about you. What it really taught you was how to fight using your mind and your words on the spot, not like you prepared for it.
Yeah.
And so I started getting good at the art of articulation and storytelling on the spot.
Yeah.
You battle Eminem?
Battled Eminem in '98 at this competition called Scribble Jam in Cincinnati. It was the biggest battle in the Midwest and one of the biggest rap battles in the country. And a lot of famous rappers, DJs and breakdancers came out of Scribble Jam. And so I battled Eminem, and that was the first time a white guy ever called me a nigga.
Ooh.
And
Called you a nigga?
he said, I'll let my razor split you till they have to staple stitch you. This nigga took my facial tissue, turned it to a racial issue.
He said my facial tissue, racial issue. Bars.
Yeah, that's what people did. They did that right there. He said, this nigga took my facial tissue, turned it to a racial issue.
Damn.
And you couldn't even be mad. Because I realized something about racism that day. It's why Family Guy works. It's only good when it's funny.
Yeah.
Correct.
It only is non-offensive when it's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Had you said that shit and it not been dope, it would have been a problem. But you so cold and courageous
Man.
that you did it and got away with it.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
and then I had to bust out skills. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to dig deep and be like, it can't just be you a white guy rapping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
you got to dig deep and be like, what is it about the person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I came through it. But what I say, I won that battle. He won the war.
Wow. Explain that.
He
Exactly.
Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He Eminem.
That now with that, at that time you battle rapping, was he at that caliber already, or he was on his way?
Caliber
to
in
being
terms of
like you said, he's
Dope.
Eminem. Like how you said, he's Eminem.
he
no.
wasn't Eminem.
When I say he Eminem, I mean the international success.
right.
Eminem. He wasn't that battle rapping.
Yeah, that's what I was.
He was just Marshall Mathers from Detroit.
Right.
That
was
came
the
up here
question.
with a fat guy, and I didn't know this was D12, and I didn't know like what it was gonna turn into, and I didn't know who these Detroit people. What the fuck these niggas like? You know what I'm saying? Chicago versus everybody. Nigga, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so like, you know, and we would have conversations over the years, me and him, about it, and he would be like, man, I really feel like I shouldn't have lost that battle. And I'm like, yeah, well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I'm keeping this one though.
well, nigga.
I'm
like,
keeping
you know
this
what I'm
one.
saying?
Did he battle Juice too?
He did, because me and Juice got into it. So what happened was, I just got to tell the truth about this story, because Scribble Jam don't be telling the story. When me and Juice went down there, we was the favorites to win the whole battle. And we got to the top, and I went to Juice, and I said, hey, bro, keep in mind, me and him came up battling each other. And low-key, now that I think about it, I think I was scared of him. Because I knew he was so dope that even though I beat him time to time, I was scared to battle him outside the city. You know what I'm saying? And
That hit different.
it hit different.
Yeah, for sure.
And so maybe I thought I was slick, but I really felt like I was being sincere when I said, hey, bro, when we get to the top, it's me and you. Let's not battle. Let's be like, fuck y'all niggas, Chicago versus everybody. And let's take the trophy back, give it to the radio station. Because my whole thing has always been service, give. That's a theme in my life. Always, how can we do this together? How, you know, and I've been burned by it a lot.
For sure.
And then I've learned how to wield it to my advantage. You know what I mean? But at that time, he said, hey, that's a good idea. Let's do that. And so last guy was Eminem. Juice beat this guy named Dose One. I beat Eminem. It was me and him. And then Juice said, go ahead and tell him. I said, we not battling. You know what I'm saying? We together. This Chicago. And then Juice was like, I don't feel that way.
Damn.
And they were like, Rhymefest, you disqualified. Let's bring Eminem back. You battle Juice.
What?
That's how Eminem got to do that twice.
Damn.
That's
crazy.
tough.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I was like, and Juice was supposed to be my homie.
For sure.
And I went back and he said, boy, you a fool. You think I ain't gonna get this trophy because of that? You just gave me the easy win.
Damn.
He said,
Learned a lesson that day. But guess what that's called? A love lesson.
Yeah.
Wow. So
That's
Eminem got beat
crazy.
twice though by two.
That
Chicago.
day.
He got beat twice.
By 2 Chicago rappers
That's
in one
dope.
night.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's dope, but that's crazy, man. Like
That's why they got the video of Juice and Eminem on the same night.
God.
But they cut out that part.
What? So
Damn.
where did that take place? What was
He said Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
It was Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Dang.
That's
So
crazy.
was it hard battle rapping, or being a battle rapper, and then start regular rapping, as I say, is making songs?
Back then, they'll be like, man, battle rappers can't make songs.
Right.
That's what all of the
Yeah.
rappers who was put on at that time would say, because they was really afraid of battle rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so it was incumbent upon somebody like Eminem, when he got big as he got and did movies, 8 Mile and all like that, Rhymefest started writing. Like, I didn't get famous really for rapping. I got, my notoriety came from writing songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it was important for people to come out of that culture and write songs to prove the narrative wrong, that just because you could think quick on the spot don't mean you can't contemplate.
That's true. I got you know, everywhere that you look, when it comes to you, man, they say you're one of the best storytellers there is, right? Was battle rap one of those key things that you used in your storytelling when you write your music?
Nah, battle rap is confrontation, and I had to, over the years, I've been learning to throw confrontation out of my music because confrontation interrupts a good story. Confrontation creates retaliation, creates problems. It aims at people. I learned early how to use words. Battle rap taught me how to use words as weapons.
Yeah.
And I was sharp with the tongue. And I used that in my personal life at my children's mothers. I used that in my personal life when something happened that I ain't like, and I could say something to just
Cut you in half,
Cut
yeah.
you deep. I cut
Man.
you deep. I cut you deep.
Say for the
Hey,
better man,
I told you before we got on camera. It'll cut you deep.
And I've had to learn to take that out of my repertoire, because really when I do that, whenever you do that to somebody, it come back at you 3 times in one way or another. And so Ye helped me with that. Ye did a lot to train me and how to focus more on the vision and not the moment. A guy named Mark Ronson, who produced Bruno Mars, I never signed to Good Music. I actually signed to a label called Alito after the Stevie Wonder song, All I Do. And so Mark Ronson, who was a Jewish DJ, cultivated me. Jazzy Jeff, DJ Jazzy Jeff is a sage. He a guru. There are a few gurus in hip hop. 2 of them that I can name is DJ Jazzy Jeff, and another one is Ice-T. If you ever get a chance to talk to Ice-T, he a guru.
Yeah.
And so hip hop got some prophet gurus. And Jazzy Jeff took me on 25 world tours and taught me about life. And took a lot of that anger and fight and using words as weapons out of me, and taught me how to use these people, Ye, Mark Ronson, Jazzy Jeff, are 3 people I could say taught me how to use words as healing scalpels and not knives that cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you get up to me and Common writing Glory, that's not a song. That's a prayer.
Man.
Hey,
Man.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
So you
Man.
can actually
Don't
write
get
a
there.
song writing a prayer.
Man.
That's
and
dope. That's dope.
when I listen to Glory, man, it takes me back to when Michael Jackson did We Are the World.
Mm.
That's the feeling. Like you know how you listen to a record and it give you chills. Like
Yeah.
it makes you emotional. Like it just triggers so many things. Like that's what that record was, man. And I like to watch it and see people reactions from it, man. How? Like
How did that come about?
I think Common and it's a few people that's real similar in spirit in this city. Jay Ivy, Common, Rhymefest, Lupe. I would even say when you get to the younger generation, Chance, Vic, No Name, Saba. There's a spirit that's a through line here that it's hard to get these people to work together, but when they do, if ego can be dropped,
yeah,
then the through line of Chicago ancestral spirit will come through them. And I think me and Common working intention, I've always wanted to work with Common. I looked up to, bro, I'm a shorty. He the first, him and Twista, the first ones that got on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
on. And so, like, not just record deal, but turning it into something that made the world respect what we brought to the table.
Correct.
And so, like, when I got my record deal, I took 50 grand out of my budget, went to Common people and was like, bro, just do a song with me, bro. I got the money. I got 50 grand. And they was like, nah, it ain't about money. We don't think you ready. We don't want to do a song with you, no.
Damn. How did that make you feel?
Hurt. They got to look up to you. I just want to.
Right.
But also,
Lesson
I
of
didn't
love.
see how people, it was a love
A
lesson.
lesson of love.
I ain't understand. Just like how some people like, man, Fess, I want to, like, I ain't understand whatever he saw in me, he didn't see that it was time for him to do that with me.
Right.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? And we think just because, man, I'm on, you on.
Yeah.
But I wasn't standing on my own.
Gotcha.
And I think sometimes that's what the big homies be wanting to see. You want the big homies, but the big homies want to see you stand on your own.
Yeah.
Then let's make it easy for me so that it's not only good for you, it's good for me.
It's good for us. Yeah.
It's good for us.
Right.
You just got a record deal and you want me to rap with you, so it's good for you. What's good for me?
Correct.
And
Put
fuck
that
your
work
money.
in.
Your money ain't.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think by the time me and Ye had been working, and then Ye did the B album, helped resurrect,
I love that
Resurrection.
album. I remember buying that shit too.
Common whole joint. Common got to come to the studio, see how me and Ye would write, and he ain't never seen, because we write in a real unique way. Me and Ye, we would write through conversation. We would just be talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it'd be like I'll be like, Austin, power, something, power. And Ye'll be like, man, no one man should have all that power. We like,
Wait, you helped write that too, man?
yeah.
Never.
And so,
Damn,
why
that's
not?
be a hard
And
man.
so
He said,
I
man,
even helped them find that track. So
That's hard.
it started with the track. That's a whole nother story, how that power beat came. But like, and then Common would see how me and him would talk, and then be like, oh man, yeah. And then we didn't write nothing down. We just kind of go back and forth. Like you say a line, I say a line. We ain't got no more lines. Let's keep talking about like whatever going on in life, because that's really the, you know what I'm saying? And then the song built, and then Common hit me up like, hey bro, come on, let's try that. And it turned into a prayer.
Hey, that was,
We just
that
started
song-
praying.
Crazy.
And then it turned into hands to the heaven, one man, no weapon.
Hey, that
That's
touched
crazy.
me deep too.
Damn, boy.
That's crazy.
And then
Damn.
it turned into something else. But guess what? What it didn't start either. None of it started with an ambition. Like it wasn't an ambition. None of it. None of these songs. None of this stuff started with ambition. It started with homies in a room talking.
Just like we doing.
Yep.
Just like we doing. This is where
My
greatness
opinion,
comes
the
from.
podcast. Yes. Yeah.
And that's why I see a lot of
Yeah.
people get they victory, they visions wrong, because they start their vision with an ambition of an outcome and not just the action. They start the outcome will fuck you up, bro, because the outcome start from the end. You see the end. You see what you want to do. You like, man, I'm gonna do this, but you only see the result when you think of it.
Yeah.
You don't see what you got to go
you
through
missed
to get
the middle.
there.
You missed the middle, and then
You missed the middle.
It's you say that because we went to the Forever Grateful Awards, and D-Lo said something that was real touching. He said that you ask for this rain, you know what I mean? This rain of, fame, abundance, and all that, you know what I mean? But you're not ready to go through the mud that the rain makes.
You're going to get stuck somewhere in that mud.
Somewhere it's going to slow you
Quicksand, it's like
down. It's going to
quicksand.
slow you down in something that you're doing. So you ask for this rain of abundance and whatever you ask for. You don't prepare yourself for that mud. Like how you said, you see the end of the tunnel, but everything in between is missing.
And you know what else is crazy about what you're saying? Because you see the end, people don't be agile enough to have an alternative ending. You be so stuck on that vision
Yeah.
that you can't see where the path is taking you.
Yep.
Right.
That might even be greater.
That's that identity thing you said. That's that
Your
identity.
You stuck.
Yeah, that's that
You
identity.
stuck in what you think you want and not what God got for you.
Facts.
Correct.
Damn.
Facts.
That, man.
You may have a totally different calling.
Who you telling? Again, bro, I dropped out of high school and I'm on the school board.
Yeah, that's
The
crazy.
school
That's
board.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
That's
glad,
crazy, bro.
Hey, I'm glad you said that because that's one of the questions that we wanted to ask. Like, was politics always an inspiration for you or a passion for you, or did it just? How did it come forth?
The industry is political. So I didn't realize that my adventures in the music industry were preparing me to come back to the community and deal with community politics, which actually is very similar to music industry stuff and more lightweight in a lot of ways. So some of these people, these political people, man, they think they so slick or so smart and don't realize, man, I done sat in multi-billion-dollar rooms watching real politics take place.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I ran for Alderman in 2012.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, I lost everything in the music industry. I went to homelessness, like what I say, politics aside, system really ain't trying to let me in. I'm from the hundreds. My needle doper than the EpiPen.
Woo.
I took my wife out of Nike. She stepping in with leopard skin. Now I throw my coat on the table and tell them check me in. I never win a fight in one round. I don't go less than 10. So if they don't see you bleed, niggas, they just don't respect it then. And so like one of the things for me was like running for Alderman. Well, I lost everything. I went into homelessness. I had a Grammy with no health insurance.
That's crazy.
And I gave up because I lost identity. And when I lost everything and lost my identity and went into homelessness, I had a woman that we just started talking on Twitter and relating to each other. And I was living in fucking Hoboken, New York, in the projects. How did I get there? Why was I don't even know where the hell I was. In Hoboken, New York, in the projects. And this woman in Chicago was talking to me on Twitter. And we just formed a relationship. And she said, your kids is here. Your roots is here. You lost. Come home. I said, I can't even afford to get home. She paid for me to get home. She let me live with her. She brought home half her check, gave it to me. And when she gave me the check, she said, now go pay the bills. Start giving me my
Strength.
thing back.
Your power.
My
yeah.
power back.
The
Like,
identity
wait,
that
I
you
know how to
lost.
do this. I know I start getting my, and then getting my hair, just, And then she said to me, this woman said, you a Grammy Award winner. Where your royalties? Where your money? Where?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I just stopped talking to niggas.
This nigga too real, bro.
Hell nah.
He said, I don't know, I just cut niggas
I
off.
just stopped talking to niggas.
Damn.
And she said, write down your lawyer number. Who is your accountant before you just stop talking to niggas? Write down everything you remember. Give me. And I wrote it down. About 5 weeks later, she put a check for $50,000 on the table.
What?
She said they was looking for you.
I bet.
And we got to start over. And I said I ain't gonna do it the same way next time. In fact, I've been doing the community thing so long, helping kids, because when I came back to Chicago, all I had left was, let me teach people whatever I think I learned.
Yeah.
And I just started doing community service. And then doing that, once she put that $50,000 and I said, now we can rejuvenate, I was like, why this neighborhood look like this? Who responsible for these vacant lots? Wait a minute.
So this is like 2010?
2010.
Ain't that, didn't you drop an album, Shay or something like that? Didn't you drop an album, a project that
That
year?
was 2012 or
That
2013.
was 2020. Okay, so that money helped you get react.
Had to regroup, you know what I'm saying? And then, but after I did the community service, after I ran for Alderman and all that stuff, I was like, now I'm ready to rap again.
Got you.
You had something. Hey, you had something to
You know
talk
what I'm
about.
saying?
Yeah.
Something to
I
talk
had
about,
something.
right?
You had something to talk about.
I had to go through some.
Yeah.
Your new project is amazing.
Hey,
James and Nikki.
Yes.
Let's
James and
talk
Nikki.
about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it for real.
A
for
conversation with James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni.
real. Man.
What is
What
the?
y'all think?
What? Hey, look.
What you think?
I ain't really
You
get
got some.
look at it fully.
He ain't prepared. He ain't
You
doing
got you got some points, man. I got some, but
Yeah,
before
I
I
got
jump into the tracks, I want to talk about why that conversation between them two people was so important to you.
That you made an album
That
about
you made
that.
an album
and
about
I
that.
ain't gonna even lie to you. Because of that album, I actually listened to the conversation.
Yeah, I did too, man.
was
I
good.
did.
And,
Yeah.
and Nikki said some real shit. She said you cannot understand. If you don't understand yourself, you can't understand other people.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, damn. I'm listening to that shit. I see why the conversation to make you want to write a fucking album.
Yeah, man.
I ain't gonna leave. If you a rapper, that shit was so dope.
Yeah.
Like, man, my fault.
And you
bro. I
had to put them in there.
I'm sorry,
No,
bro.
they the features on the album.
Yeah, for
they the
sure.
features on
It's
the
their
album.
album.
Yeah.
I'm just in it.
Yeah.
You know? And, bro, cause hey y'all was telling me about Sinners.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he went to go see it.
Yeah, I went to go
So
see
the
it,
other
man.
night,
Yeah.
a lot of James and Nikki remind me of that scene, not to spoil it, the scene where they do the ancestral music scene.
Okay.
And so I think that we in that time right now where we got to resurrect the ancestors to direct us on the path forward as we're going through a technological evolution. We're in a historic time. This is the messy middle of the post, and I know I'm going off James and Nikki, but I think it's important to know, for people to know what's happening in this world. And that's why this album was made.
That album should have been up for a Grammy, to be honest. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's
definitely
that's
was dope.
man's reward. I just want y'all to hear it.
Yeah, man.
I
I
got
got
the
saying,
Grammy,
man.
yeah,
I
but
was
thank
the
you.
message through the songs that you was dropping, Trigger, Pop. You know what I'm saying?
Surprise.
Well,
Surprise.
all
Hey,
Chicago
Black man,
female
though.
Black
MCs.
man.
Black man, that's
Black
man.
That's
Listen,
one of my
Hear
man.
that?
favorite ones on there. Black man.
Black
I
man,
got
black
some,
man.
I
Bro,
got
you-
some quotes.
And I talked about me and Ye on that
I
song.
was just about to bring that up.
Man,
Yeah.
what?
I was just about to bring that
It's
up,
like
bro.
you answer the questions without us
Called
even
it-
having
It's
So
to
you
like
don't know if he a
sent you
clone?
the text message thread.
And
You
you don't
look
know
at
if
it,
the
I'm
man a
already
clone
ready
or, but you already already
ahead.
brung it up, but how is your relationship with Kanye West?
Well, let me. I'm gonna finish
Now,
this, and I'll
okay.
tell you that we're in a post-industrial evolution. We're going into the technological age. Trump is the messy middle of this transition that the world is going through. So things are about to change. Life for human beings is about to change in ways we ain't even thought about yet. And so we got to go to James and Nikki because they began with the 100 years from now.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what the world is going to be. And so they're banning books, bro. They're getting rid of Harriet Tubman from the National Archives. They're getting rid of Jackie Robinson. And so if we don't use our music to bring the stories of the ancestors back, to say, look, this is what we still dealing with. James and Nikki had a conversation in 1971, and this album shows you where we're still dealing with these things they were talking about and gives suggestions for how to move into the future as men and women. So on every song, it's not just me. It's not just James and Nikki. It's Freddie Old Soul.
Yeah.
It's Brittany Carter. It's EP, the Hellcat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all of these women that we're debating, how do we get our relationship right? You were just talking earlier about your children's mother. Bro, the biggest issue we got right now in the black community ain't that we can't stick together, it's that we can't be together.
That part.
Yeah.
And so James and Nikki was really a conversation with how can men and women be together in peace?
Yeah.
How can black men and women have a family throughout all our challenges? That's what this album is about. And I kind of think with music, I was just telling Beezy, I don't really like music no more. It don't hit. It don't smack. I don't feel nothing.
That part.
It ain't.
That part.
Even when it's good, it's mediocre.
It don't last.
It don't. It's disposable.
Yeah.
So now when we think about, if you're an artist, when we thinking about music, you want to make music, fuck your song, nigga. I don't care, nigga. Nobody cares. The beat hard, fuck it, nigga. All right, you weak. That shit weak. Like, because if it don't make you feel nothing, think nothing, want to do something, if it's not experiential, if it don't hit people in a way that make people be like, damn, I gotta do something.
Yeah, man.
Wake
Like,
you up.
that means that right now, this messy middle or this evolution we going through, this is the time to drop art. This ain't the time to follow.
Right.
And so if what you're doing is not innovative, if it ain't unique, if it don't make people feel something,
Yeah.
it ain't shit.
Yeah. You right.
This is the time. This is the time for new things.
Yeah.
Who got something new?
Right.
You talking? Oh yeah. we
That
got something
part.
new, yeah.
Cause what you just said, man, it stands out so much, Fest, man. Like when I say me growing up doing music, man, I would listen to other people that inspire me to be creative. You don't have that today. It's like more so about how popular you are, how many followers you got. Then you got these records that are coming. It just be a phase. It'll run for that time, and then when it's gone, that person gone too. You don't even you like, damn, what happened to him?
Right.
You know, but that, like you say, like that timeless music, it's not around. Some artists are still making timeless music, but that timeless music not around no more.
And the trick is to get you to chase those things.
For sure.
As long as you chasing those things, you're not being creative.
That part.
Yeah, no, the album was very dope. Like,
Thank you.
And I was asking because I know you dropped the song Black Man. And
Black
you
Man.
And it was a reference. It was a line about Kanye in there, and I was gonna ask, like, y'all relationship, like, because I'm pretty sure he listens and this, that, and that. Did it put a strain? Did it affect? Was it nothing?
No, it's nothing.
Okay.
Like, and I think it's nothing because it's not using words as weapons. It's not taking a shot, a yay. what I say, I don't know if Ye is a clone or if they got him a twin. That ain't the homie I know from way back then, and I ain't the man that I was. So when they all in my DM talking about save your friend, imagine trying to tell Mandela not to go to the pen. Imagine trying to tell Malcolm bow ties ain't in. Imagine trying to tell Jesus not to die for your sins. Imagine leaning on the truth when it always bends. When it always bends. Imagine leaning on the truth when it always bends. That's how it is, and it's always been. So, you know, that's in context.
Dope as shit.
Yeah.
You put it in context, for real.
So, you know, like, yeah, it's like, Ye, as my brother, is not the same person that we grew up with as 14, 15, 20, but who is? We all evolve.
Absolutely.
Correct. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So sometimes I don't know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
It's a different person. However, he has something special.
Yeah.
Very.
For sure.
Very.
For sure.
Yes.
There's a love lesson in the example of Kanye. So try to tell Mandela not to go to the penitentiary to do what he got to do for us to learn
Exactly.
For sure.
the lesson of Mandela. Try telling Malcolm X, man, you ain't got to wear no bow tie to tell us what you got to tell us. Try telling Jesus, man, you ain't got to get crucified by the
Was it
the
Israelites?
Jews or the crucified the Romans? Sorry. Okay. Try telling Jesus you ain't got to get crucified by the Romans
Right.
to tell us the lessons of God.
Facts.
They gonna be like, boy, you can't tell me I'm not a genius.
Right.
I gotta do this. So don't hop in my DM, which I get it all the time. Man, go, man, save Ye, tell him to do it. Nigga, you go tell him.
That's a grown man.
That's a grown, independent man who I might not know as well as I think I know. Or as well as we grew up together.
Right.
And so I could tell my story. I could say that without me and him arguing about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if I give my opinion on what he's saying or what he need to be saying or how he need to be acting based on what I think his identity should be,
Right.
I'm wrong.
That's
Yeah,
your own
for
personal. That's your own personal vision of him.
projection.
That's how you feel he should.
That's
react.
how
you want him and how you feel he should react.
Yeah,
That's not
I
him.
learned a long time ago, man. That don't work.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make people be what you
That
think
man
is
be
right.
great.
Exactly.
That's that power of opinion.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Who give a what? What does that say right there?
It's just my opinion.
You ain't gotta agree with me.
Come
It's
on.
just my opinion.
It's just my opinion.
I thought I was a nasty motherfucker, right? You know, I'm the raw dog legend. At least I thought I was.
Two-time. You
But
two-time legend.
somebody in the room wrote a project called Raw Dog, and it was partially produced by Kanye West.
It was. And on one of them songs, it's got the beginning lines of Jesus Walks.
For real?
Yeah, you ain't listen to it.
No, I was. I was just talking about, hold on, because I was talking about that shit earlier.
Yeah.
We was talking about Good Job.
Yeah, good
Good
at
at
job.
job, yeah.
Which had another Chicago legend that people don't talk
Talking
about.
about Mickey, right?
Mickey Hosted.
Yeah.
So I was
Mickey Herbo.
Hey, Mickey-
That
hey,
was a song
Mickey-
with me and Mickey on
Hey,
there.
Mickey
Good at job.
is a co-writer too, man.
Mickey is
Pen
one
shit.
of the best whoever did it.
Man, listen. Oh my God. But he doing his thing. But it's just like we say, like you may have a different calling. Cause look at what he did with Herb. Look at what he doing with Tink. Look at what he doing with Anna Marie. Look at what he doing with these other artists from the city, man.
Facts.
So
He had to be agile enough to allow that.
absolutely.
Exactly.
And had to go through what he had to go through as an artist to understand them.
Absolutely. To help them avoid the mistakes he might have made.
So the question for everybody is, are you allowing the universe to work with you?
For sure.
To build you into what you're supposed to be, or are you just focused on what you think you want?
Facts. Like the guy you was telling us about earlier.
He wouldn't allow. he wouldn't allow the work to be done. Because he was impatient with his own desire.
Facts.
His lustful, sensuous desire.
Man.
Now question. We ain't gonna stay here too long. Is he an artist or you still rapping?
No.
No.
And he forsook one of the best friendships he could have ever had.
I bet. I bet.
That's crazy.
You know, that's what we do. Bro, we kill ourselves all the time. And I ain't gonna say I ain't never did it to myself. I done blew up relationships. We all done blew up relationships.
Facts.
And then look back like, I blew that up. So it's all good. You know what I mean? Everything is a season, reason, or a lifetime.
That part.
Love lesson.
Or
Yeah.
love
A
lesson.
love
It's all a love lesson.
It's
all
all
love.
about.
You're going to love one way or other. And you know why I be seeing love? Real love. Real love always happen when a person on their deathbed.
That part. I'm glad you said that. Now hold on. Now hold on. Wait. Cause I'm glad you said that. Cause let's jump into the track "Surprise."
Surprise! Nigga, you died.
Dead. Yeah, you died. So I was just talking to them before you got here, man, and I asked a question because you see what I'm saying. Death is you get more out of death than you get out of life. And I tell people all the time, my opinion is that you only worth what you leave behind, right? And so I tell my kids, I tell my family and them all of this, like, don't do all of this crazy. I hate funerals. You know what I'm saying? I understand it, but I feel there's more money involvement than the actual,
Business.
thing. Yeah, you going all out, and I'm here lifeless. I don't know. I
don't care.
I ain't met a
Off of
dead
that.
person that came back and said thank you.
Right,
You see
yeah,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Oh, this dope.
You know what I'm saying?
This dope.
So that Surprise record, when you said the key things of living your life, or you saw your last sunset, you ain't even get to make up with your son. Like it's so many things that play in a role because we always think we have tomorrow. We always think we got, what I'm saying, we can amend things, we got time, and we don't. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that went to sleep last night thinking they waking up. It's a lot of people that went to work and had plans on going home. So I wanted to ask you a question, man. It's so many things that's involved with money. What would you do if it became a time where people start charging to go to a funeral?
That's a beautiful question, bro. Like, if people charge you to go to a funeral, there'd be a lot of less people at people's funerals.
Exactly.
And because some people only come for the chicken dinner and the party afterwards.
Yeah, facts.
Or the pictures.
Yeah, the pictures. Yeah.
I think somebody should try that. We should definitely
See who show up for real.
find a family and be like, hey,
$25
$25
Yeah.
a ticket.
They charged to get in a Kobe funeral though.
But it was a memorial. That was more of a memorial.
Yeah, but
No, I'm the average person.
Yeah, the average
Let's
person.
just do
I
the
agree.
average person.
Yeah, the average
But
person.
what do you mean? What would I do?
And
Which,
then- and
which
would
position
you
am
go?
I in here?
Like, would you
Right,
go?
'cause that was my next question
said-
because like, is this my grandma? Is this my dad? You know what I mean? Like, if it's
does-
that, does the
my
family
homie,
have
is
to
it the
pay the
homie?
check? Right. If it's
Listen,
the homie, then
listen.
yeah, he go a little 30, bro. I'm in here.
This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who it is. It's the fact that they implement it now.
You
That
gotta get a
have
ticket.
to pay to go to this service.
You got to get a ticket
Everybody,
to go in.
everything.
Everybody.
Yeah, across the board. So it ain't no
Across the board.
shoes.
The money
Yeah, it ain't no
going to the
pick and
funeral
choose.
home.
It's
All funerals
going to
cost.
the
all
money going
funerals
to-
cost.
No, he
Is the
said
money going back
everybody.
to the family?
Ain't there's no right. That's another question. Like
Or
how
is the
you
money
said,
going
right?
to the funeral home?
Or is it
Because if it's going to the family, then I pay. Because sometimes you get left with funeral costs.
Yeah.
And you
Right,
know, now you
but
helping
I
the
think
family
what
by
X is
paying to
saying
get there.
is the family had already paid for the services.
Correct.
Right.
The funeral home is charging you to walk
no.
into the establishment, and it's we got the person here buried,
man.
and then the thing is,
You bogus.
you make it so crazy. Because what if you go to a funeral home, you the family, like, man, we got this room with chandeliers in it. You know what I mean? Then you got this room over here with only 18 seats. You know what I mean? And they taxing you for it. You know what I mean?
Like a concert.
Right,
It makes
you know
you.
what I mean?
It makes you question how valuable your life is.
Is life?
No,
Not just
it
yours.
don't
is.
though.
30 ahead and
don't.
Johnny
You know
is
why?
dead. 30
No, they not
ahead
gonna
and Johnny is
no,
dead.
let me make it a little bit more
30 ahead is
interesting.
crazy.
They
30
charging
ahead.
$100 to $150 a ticket for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it on Zoom.
You know what I'm saying? No,
What's
you
happening
gotta pay for that
at
too.
the
It's
funeral?
$35
gotta pay
for
for that too.
the
You
link.
gotta pay for
You
it.
gotta
You gotta
pay
get
for
the
that.
link. It's
No.
$35.
You got no, it's
Pay-per-view.
$100.
Anyway.
No, fuck that. It's $100. Just like you gotta pay for these fights. We
So-
pay
Oh,
for
yeah.
these
Pay-per-view.
pay-per-view
Yeah.
fights. It's $100 to watch this funeral.
And $100 to get in?
It's more to get in. If you
Hey,
want to be there in person, it's
Ushers,
more.
lock the doors. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't get out here, y'all pay for these tickets.
I want
Hey man, well, how you think of that question?
You know what? You know why?
What you thinking that, bro? You ain't just
No,
thinking
no,
that. It's been on your mind for a while.
It has, man, because the thing is that like it's the fact that, man, I've been through so much in life, man. I donated a kidney to my granddad. It'll be 12 years Tuesday. I'm a survivor of COVID. You know what I'm saying? You start to see things from a different lens when you face with certain things. So I always wonder, like, I noticed that people show more outpour love when I was going through them hard times. But then when I'm up and I'm moving around, I don't get them same phone calls or check-ins or, you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like the love different because they ain't calling you, though?
Huh?
Do you feel like the love is
No,
not
no,
there
I don't
'cause
feel
they
the
ain't
love
calling
is
you?
different. I just feel it's not as prioritized as if it was if I was laying dead. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know everybody gonna show up when I'm down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But them same people not showing up when I'm up or when they think I'm up.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
So you know what I do about that? Like what I'm doing in my life right now?
Mm-hmm.
I realize everybody got their own priorities. I see this in politics. I see it in business. Anything I want, anything anybody want, the original disposition of the person you trying to get it from is to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is coming. Everybody got their own priority and think whatever you bring into them ain't something they want to do. They want to do whatever they think they want to do that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
So when I go to people with business or anything, I try to figure out what you want so that when I come to you with what I'm bringing, it make it easy for you to do it because it aligns with your priority. I'm also working to forget what anybody think or how anybody else act. You just don't know how to love. So let me be the example of what love look like. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that if nothing else, that make you look more powerful. When you do the check-in.
Right.
Don't wait on them to do the check-in.
Right.
You check in on them. Hey man, I just want to say I love you checking in. Ain't heard from you. Woo, woo, woo. And I think once people start getting used to somebody doing that, not only do you become the leader. My bad, bro. Boy. Not only do you become the leader, you also become the example.
That part.
I think that what you saying is true, but that's been the way of the world since the world been away.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I think if you look at the examples of the coldest people that ever did it, that's what they did.
Facts.
Yeah.
They were the example of what love looked like.
Yeah.
As a man, you can't even worry about what they not doing. You
Yeah.
do it.
So before we get off this,
Do that make sense or
yeah,
not?
it makes a lot of sense. It make a lot of sense. But before we get off this question, would you pay? I asked that question because people will go to the club, pay for bottles, pay for sections. People will go and pay for shirts to wear the person that passed away, pay for poster boards, pay for all of these things. And the question...
Pay for prostitutes?
No. I got you. But we'll pay for alcohol. We'll pay for all of these things, right?
You'll pay for shoes, everything.
You have no problem with paying for
Right.
that. But the $1 million question is, would you pay to come to
Here,
someone's
okay.
funeral?
I figured out. This is the problem with the question I got.
Come on.
The real problem with that question is all that other stuff wrong too.
Yeah.
So regardless if people pay for it or not, it's all capitalism that misleads people. So that's the part when you talk about funeral that Jesus will walk in, flip the table over, and say, "How dare you turn my father's house into a market?"
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think once we start putting death in the, which is already in the marketplace.
That's where
It's already in the marketplace.
Okay, all right.
But once you say, okay, you can't cremate a person, cheaper, keep the ash, whatever you want to do, spread the ashes. Like, I think we already putting too much market value on death.
Absolutely.
And I think to put more market value on death is a blasphemous insult to life.
Exactly.
It already is a blasphemous. Life is a blasphemous insult to itself, the way we live in. But that would just be more blasphemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make it like how you said, an event.
It's like marketing it, not people.
It's an event
like,
instead
I
of it
come up
being
now on
someone.
death, not
But
more.
when you say that, bro, it's somebody out there right now that's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna change the world."
I'm finna change the world. As a matter of fact, you can't even.
It's a little Elon Musk out there right now.
When I give you the price for your casket and the plout, whatever we gonna be at, it comes with a $15 ticket for every person that you got come here. So the capacity of the room is 500, $15 a ticket.
No, but I asked somebody that question, man, and their response was it'll show how valuable your life really was.
You won't be able to see it.
You won't.
You won't be able. That's why one thing I go by is, and me and you, I said we've been friends 30-some years. I give your flowers while you able to receive them.
Correct. You said that in the record too.
You know what I mean? I give your flowers right now. Hey, bro, I appreciate you being the love that you give. You know what I mean? I appreciate you supporting me during that time because you laying there, like you say, lifeless, you can't get that. You can't receive it the same way and then even if I do tell you, I want to be able to hear your response because I'm letting you know it now while you here. Here go your bouquet of flowers, bro. I love you for being who you are.
You know what I realize though? I think while we alive, we think too much about how people gonna respond when we die. But when you really dead, the dead person really don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, and you're not gonna give a fuck, bro. Like at the end of the day, people who cry over dead people is crying because they still here.
Yeah. Right.
You not crying because they gone.
Yeah.
You crying because you got left.
And now you got to pick up whatever they left behind
deep
or whatever.
I felt
You
that
crying because you got left here.
I felt that.
Why would you leave me like this? What is you talking about,
Crazy,
nigga? You feeling sorry for yourself because your mama died.
That's selfishness.
That's selfish as fuck.
It is.
And I think that is the real, forget would you pay for a funeral. How do we deal with the selfishness people have around what death is now?
Exactly.
People fall in deep depressions instead of taking the example of the life, whether it was good or not good. How do I now live my life based on what I just saw?
Facts.
That's the real thing we should be, I think, figuring out how to do. Like, you know, bro, you crying over. Now, I will say this. When it's sudden death, it hit different. Mm-hmm. When a baby died, it hit different. Mm-hmm. When somebody was brutally murdered, when your homie get hit by a car out of nowhere, it's different than like your grandmama.
That was that old age.
Lived
a good life.
Fruitful life. You know what I'm saying? When it's
the Lord just called her home at that time.
They was called, and I think we think of death like that, but for the black community, death be shocking.
Yeah.
All the time. Like it's shocking.
It's tragic every time.
And then that really scares us about being here.
For sure. You spoke on yesterday, man. You spoke on going on a silent
retreat.
Yeah, a silent retreat.
Me and my wife went to Cambodia and did 100 hours of silence with our legs crossed with Buddhist monks. And it was the most painful thing I ever did in my life. And if you survive 3 days, on the third day, they teach you a lesson about pain so that when you come back, don't nothing bother you. Mm-hmm. But you got to survive 3 days, 30 hours.
Being quiet.
And then they teach you a lesson. I tell you the lesson. But you won't be able to do it unless you do the retreat. When you sitting with your legs crossed for hours and hours, you begin to get all kind of pain in your back and your legs and the monks be like, don't move. Feel it. Let it go through. Watch it. And when you watch the pain, it'll go from here to disappear, come back hard, and then they teach you that's life. And when you move to it, you amplify it. When you be still, it comes and goes. Stop letting people move you because it made you mad.
That's hard.
Because it was painful, because it hurts you. Because when you move to the hurt, you only creating more hurt. Right. Now sit still and breathe. And then you go deeper inside. And then your mind clear. Then you go so deep, you might mess around and see who you really are, and it may shock you. And then they send you home, and you.
Put you back out in the world.
They take your ass
crazy.
home.
Fuck you up. Fuck your head up. Put you back out in the streets.
Man.
Now you have a detox with everybody.
Oh, the real.
And then here we are.
They say if you really want to know who you really are,
that's scary, man.
Wear a pair of white drawers. That's gonna let you know who you are.
Hey, no. Hey,
that's gonna let you know what you eat.
No, Rhymefest.
Yeah.
Wear some white drawers. You gonna find out who you are.
The brother ain't lying, bro. I was in the military. I served in the Navy, and when you going through boot camp and all, they give you white drawers, so you'll be fresh out the shower, you didn't scrub yourself. You done been through PT and all that. So you done scrub yourself and you get out that shower with them white drawers on. You could sit down for 20 minutes. Them bitches brown.
What you got going on?
And it don't be the unless you don't wipe your ass or the middle part, you know what I mean? It be the brim. It be the brim, like, you dirty motherfucker. Damn. You know what I mean? They'll make it so bad.
You ain't washing every part of your body.
No, I was in boot camp with 40 men. From all different type of races, and we was in the White Sox division, so a lot of them was from Chicago. So you know what I mean. Just think about it. I went in and when we graduated, 04. I went in 04. I had to think about it. It's been that long. So we went in at 04, and when we get there, you know what I mean. You got niggas that think that, oh, bro, I'm this and that and all that. So every day you had a laundry episode where maybe today you got to do the laundry. So you look at these niggas' drawers, bro.
Terrible.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, they take showers. It's a shower time. Everybody takes shower at the same time. So you got a basket full of dirty ass white drawers.
But it go back to what you say. It's what you eat.
No, it doesn't.
I'm telling
you.
Put
you on a pair of white drawers when you get home and lay down for 20 minutes.
But
the bitch is gonna be brown.
But listen. You ever drank so much that it came out of your pores?
What?
You ever experienced that before?
No, the scent.
Okay, so what do you think eating? What happens with eating?
No, you're not understanding. You can.
You're not.
You get what I'm saying, bro?
You can go eat the cleanest meal in the world. That rim around them white drawers.
He say, "Boy, you're made out of dirt. You're going back into the dirt.
That's it.
You're going to have
the rim around them white drawers."
So are you just saying the sweat?
No, you just showered. It's only been 30 minutes.
Mo trying to defend them streaks.
Say what you want. Now, I'm defending the military.
Like, it's around the top.
No, nigga, we had to wear white skibbies. That's what they was called.
Tidy whitey.
Skibbies.
Dookie Mo. I was just fucking with
dirty drawers. The white drawers, bro. That's why if you go to any nigga crib, tell him you got a pair of white drawers.
I don't got a pair of white drawers.
Who got some tidy whiteys at the crib?
Not even tidy whiteys. No. Who got white drawers?
Tomorrow I'm finna go buy some and see who I really am.
Hold on.
He gonna send us a picture in the group chat like, what happened?
I'm like, no, and I'm gonna be like, it's been 30 minutes.
It's been 30 minutes.
And they're gonna be brown. They're gonna be as brown as you.
We gonna see.
They're gonna be as brown as you. Show me the waistline. Show the waistline. You gonna be like you done win the workout in the mob.
All right.
Hey, your name Dante Mo with the Dookie Mo now. I'll just mess with you.
Call it what you want. I ain't say the draws in the stain was in the middle.
I'm about to really do this.
It's around your waist.
Walmart right up the street.
It's around your waist, bro. And ever since
no
then, I ain't never
drawers
bought no white drawers.
Man, hey, Rhyme
That's
though.
military life.
Man, let's talk about some new projects though, man. I mean, I know you just dropped some goated out shit last year. I'm talking about what's in the new.
Oh man, so the new project I'm working on. Remember, I said it don't matter to me if it ain't. How about this? The word is impactful.
Gotcha.
If you ain't doing nothing that's impactful, you ain't doing nothing.
Facts.
And so I don't care if it's sell. Like and maybe that's a luxury. Like I don't care if it don't get streamed. I don't care. I do art for my healing. This is my therapy.
Therapy, yep, that's me.
This ain't for y'all. I love it if we could come together on these values, but this is my therapy. And so the new project, I'm finna call. It's called Serene Samsara. Samsara is the cyclical way of life: birth, living, transition, and whatever the next journey is. I'm gonna go speak and do interviews with people who are on their deathbed, people who are in hospice, people who are in nursing homes, people who had life-changing accidents where they lost their legs. And I'm going to do the same thing with James and Nikki, weaving it throughout the music, and then tell beautiful stories about life with the voices of people who are talking about, this is what I learned. So we've already begun the project. We're doing a photo coffee table book. We're doing it. It's a rap group. So the group is with a photographer. The group is with a cameraman and with a musical director and myself.
That's dope.
And so it will be a visual project that when people see it, we're going to show you what life looked like from beginning to end.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah.
dope.
It's deep.
So
that's
but them
good.
the only kind of, this is the time right now in the messy middle while your stocks is messed up, while we got to create new systems, we got to like create, bro, this is the time when black people do like our best work in history.
Yeah.
We do our best work, like unfortunately, under Jim Crow. We do our best work in the civil rights era. We do our best work right now. If you're not doing nothing of impact, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, I felt that, man. Yeah,
I mean, how do you respond to what he just said?
it make you wonder, like, what am I doing? Like,
Man, I'm finna go, man. We doing 17 episodes.
I'm doing something.
Hey, you heard me? Yes, we doing 17 episodes.
On the real.
Say we
Fuck
doing
once
2
a
tomorrow. We ain't even calling. We ain't going to a regular job. We going
Right.
straight in, go all in.
I'm not even going to sleep tonight.
You know what I'm saying?
With you saying that you don't care about streams and things of that sort, right? And the fact that you won all of these accolades that you have, right? It's a 2-part question, but one is, what does it take for you to get nominated
For a Grammy?
for Grammys, for the Golden Globe or Academy? What does that take?
Relationships.
So it's politics.
Everything is politics when you're talking about industry, and the question becomes, who do you have relationships with? How do you grow relationships?
Right.
How do you know which relationships to court and how long to court those relationships? But to answer that question, it's what service do you provide? Beyond rap. So you look at, I'm on a school board. How much you think a school board member get paid?
50 to 100 a year, right?
No, it's like 65 to like
That's what I said.
75.
50 to 100. Like, that's what I meant, the range.
To be on a
between
school
50.
board?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a volunteer job, nothing.
Damn.
I do it for free.
On the board.
Do it for free?
I do it for free. No, I don't do it for free. I pay to do it.
Damn.
I spent $200,000 of my own money to run for office against all the special interest groups, but I am over a $10 billion budget. There's no rapper I could think of that has influence over a $10 billion budget, and where $10 billion go. I do design policy that allocates money, $10 billion to what education looks like in schools, but I spent $200,000 of my own money and continue to spend money to do this service that I don't get paid to do. So I think the first thing everybody need to ask themselves is, what do you do so well that you don't need to get paid to do it, and do you do that for free? Would you do that for free? That's the first step to developing good relationships.
No, I can't
Service.
do that shit for free, Rhymefest.
Yeah.
I do grass, and I'm on and off your lawn in 5 minutes for that hun done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For the free.
Nah, I
But do
can't
you-
do that. You know what
Let me
I mean?
ask you,
3 yards at $100.
landscaping?
I love it. I love it dearly.
Would you cut your mama grass for free?
Yes.
Would you cut your grandmama grass for free?
Yes.
What about 3 other senior citizens on the block that maybe can't cut their grass and maybe you don't have the money?
Yes.
Then you
yes.
good.
I have did it before.
Then go
but
do it again.
I'm not coming to your house and you ain't gonna pay me.
Well,
though.
but here's the thing. I'm in a position to pay you.
Right. I get what you saying.
So there
the
should
ones
be that, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But even though you making money doing landscaping, I think you should build something into your service that incorporates cutting senior citizens' grass for free.
Correct. You're absolutely right.
And when you do that, that will make your business more successful.
For sure.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's all.
That's
Yeah,
a good
that's-
thought.
that's
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
like the lady that
And
I used to
think-
do it for, she passed away now. And the reason that I looked out for her and a couple of her neighbors because they were literally the first 2 people that signed up with my service. You know what I mean? So now I have over like 60, 70 customers that I serve, but them was my first 2 people, you know what I mean? Her uncle couldn't do it, so I'm like, I'll go ahead and take care of you. Now, I did charge her at first. I ain't gonna lie and say I didn't. But after a while, you know what I mean, she couldn't pay for it, and it was, I ain't gonna come this week because I got to pay. You know what? I'm going to take care of because Park Forest was taxing her, you know what I mean, because the grass wasn't cut, and then her auntie stayed next door. So when I came out there and did her, I just took care of both of them.
Now, this is what I'm going to say. Build it into your business model. Not just there was a circumstance.
Right.
Yeah.
If we start building service into our business model, black folk got to do more than white folk to make the community come up.
That part.
Yes.
The more we think, do it like that, because this is how you do business. And man, you keep learning from the teacher and you become the enemy that he is. Because you really learning from the enemy how to do what you think is success.
Right.
Yeah.
Learning to
So
approach
if you
the
create a new model
Right.
and build into that model service, your business will be long time stronger. Because you're building relationships that when the enemy come to attack you, the people gonna stand up for you.
hold you up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
When Kim Kardashian came at me on Instagram and really like came at me hard, like you ain't shit and da-da-da-da-da. I didn't think nobody loved me, man. I saw the whole black community stand up like, no, not him. He be here with us. I saw people stand up. I saw famous people get on like wherever she was and be like, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Rhymefest, nah, he ain't what you saying.
Why she do that? Because of the Ye thing?
Because me and Ye was going at it.
Got you.
And she jumped in. You know what I'm saying? To defend. And me and her had to have a talk where it was like, you don't understand the village we come from. You knew.
Exactly. You've been
I know
added
you his
to
wife,
it.
but you knew.
You've been added to it.
You added to a situation.
Yeah.
You never met his mama. You don't know what you're talking about. Me and him talking about something only me and him know.
I'm glad you just.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad.
Like,
I'm glad.
So, you know, and the community stood up for me against something that when Kim Kardashian come at you, all the bots come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the bots is coming, bro.
I can only imagine the things they were
Yeah.
saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming at my wife, coming at all kind of, you know, and that was another love lesson for me to learn that, like, yo, and this is on me. When even if your brother wrong, don't attack brothers in public.
Yeah.
Facts.
Agreed.
When you attack brothers in public, it is a type of divide and conquer that other cultures don't have to go through, and we can't afford to go through. And even if you upset, Malcolm X was so right, and then he went against his own advice. When he said, don't argue in public. Take it in the back. Deal with it back there. And I know somebody blew his house up and they probably looked like they had a bow tie. But you don't know if that's the CIA, the FBI, you don't really know. You know it's tension here and they saying things, but when you fight in public, it make it worse for everybody.
That's true.
And so I've learned that a few times the hard way. Because I've been the one that the only way I can get your attention is if the public say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
but let's not embarrass each other in public ever,
Nah,
even
for
if we're not getting along.
At least you was prepared for it. To like them talk like we went viral before, and then they say all type of stuff, man. They talk, but
Who did?
I'm saying is
They told my big ass.
Who was they?
I don't know. You know
the
who
internet,
was.
the people that you can't argue
She
with.
say, I'm glad somebody wants you. You talking about 0 time? I've been married 7-8 years now, lady.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want this big ass.
But
you want this belly.
They called us like
You got
I didn't see
they
say all type of shit.
But
man.
listen,
All type of
it's
shit.
We the niggas that do the cheating.
hold on, wait. He lost because he don't know what it is.
Oh,
the
okay.
question was Creep asked the question. Would you stay with your
Would you
woman?
take your woman
Would you
back
take
if
your
she
lady back
cheated?
if she cheated on you? That was the question.
That was the question.
And it went viral.
That's a good question.
We answered the question.
Would you take your woman back if she cheated on you?
The one I got now, yes. Cause what men don't do, we don't take into account the hurt we dole out. And if you take into account the hurt that you dole out and take the ego out of it, then we realize everybody human.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And if you think as a man, if we believe that as a man, there's redemption for all the cheating we do, why is there not redemption on the other side? So, you know, but my wife now, she broke the curse.
She cheated?
No.
I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, I'm like, what is wrong with
That's
you,
a good
man?
question.
No, I ain't know.
But she broke the curse. You know what my wife told me? She said, I knew who you was when we got together. Because I tried to be bold at one point and be like, this is just who I am. She said, boy, I knew who you was when I met you. Why can't you be honest about who you are? And the fact that you can't be honest about who you are means you got some soul searching. She said, I'll tell you what, though, and this wasn't even about me cheating. It's just about lying. She said, I'm not leaving you. I love you so much. And we can live in a paradise or we can live in a junkyard. Keep fucking with me. We're going to be living in a junkyard together. And it scared the hell out of me. Scared the hell out of me. Scared me straight.
And how long have y'all been together?
Because sometimes as men, that's the escape clause we use.
Yeah, for sure.
The escape clause we use is break up with me then. The escape clause is you don't got a woman that love you enough to endure and tell you that when you hurt me, you hurt us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hurting what you think you want out of a relationship when you hurt me. Because I can't be the same with the hurt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there's going to be too much wounds on both sides. And I ain't letting you go.
You can't go nowhere.
We hurt together.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now, that's
Super
holding a
deep.
black man accountable.
That's facts. That's
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Temptation.
Do any mentoring? I might need your help.
That's our raunchy ass manager.
yeah. Do that make sense?
No, it makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That
because-
make a lot of
It makes-
sense.
yeah.
Because like when I met my wife, Rhymefest, I was down and out. You know what I mean? I was in a dark space for like 4 or 5 years where I didn't know what I was. You know what I'm saying? In between that time, I had children in that dark space that I didn't know who I was. So it took for me to, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know, I'm very spiritual and all that. When I met her, it was like God sat her down next to me like, this is for you. You know what I mean? I'm going to let you make your decision on what you do with it. You know what I mean? So that angel that he sat down with me, I can't lose it. You know what I mean? Like, so anything that I, like how you said, if she be like, nigga, you cheat, I'm gone. I'm scared.
You scared?
I'm scared. I'm afraid today they inbox me and say hi. I say, look, baby, she said hi.
I do that too.
Look, baby, she
I
said
do that
hi.
too. I do that too. I be like, look what she's saying to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Look what she's saying to me.
Hey, she said it. Hey, first message, you see, I ain't respond, baby. She said it.
You know
right
what?
there.
I'm gonna
She said,
respond.
hey. She said, hey.
Yeah, you respond.
You know what I'm saying?
Said, look,
So,
But here's another trick bag. Women, remember the woman I told you helped me get that 50,000, get my life back on track?
yeah.
Thinking that because somebody do something good and help you get on your feet, you supposed to be with them. She
She had
would have made a way
alternative
better
motive.
secretary than wife
Damn.
for me.
Yeah, nah, that
You know what I mean? And I should have built that relationship and kept my penis out of it.
I was just gonna ask you that. Was you
You gotta keep your penis out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
That's when
think
the-
that caused some of the setbacks that you went through in life?
Letting a strong erection point you in the wrong direction. Rhymefest. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I let her.
Oh man.
Letting the strong erection point you in the wrong direction.
Was that pause? Was that hard for you, like being through this industry, man? Like going through this industry? Because I mean, come on, man, you Rhymefest, man. You with
No,
everybody.
I did all that. I would. I'm not even going.
He said, don't get me started.
But I've done world tours.
That's what I'm saying.
So I've done them.
I've done world tours.
They done you too.
Well, but I also realized this: when you gotta be in Australia, which is 24 hours in the past, and then Japan, which is 24 hours in the future, and then wake up in the morning, and then you going to Taipei, Thailand, and then we got to go all the way over to Kenya and do this over here. Now we going to Latvia, Laviania. You know, if you going through women every night, you gonna burn out real quick. You gonna kill yourself.
Oh, you gonna burn already.
You gonna, and you might not want to be in a hospital in Macedonia.
Yeah.
You might not want to be in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with a problem.
Yeah.
And so you learn real quick that also these places are waiting for you to come, Mr. American.
Yeah, that's what our manager
The
needs.
setup is already in motion.
You see, our manager already asked for mentor. That's what his raunchy ass, and he be everywhere doing their thing.
He got a song.
What?
Man, if you got enough time after when it's over, I'm gonna have him play. He got some shit, boy. You hear this
Yeah,
shit?
I want to
you
hear
gonna be
it.
like,
But you know, like I just learned on tour, bro. Like I can't be successful and abuse myself at the same time.
Facts. Yeah.
Because you really abusing
Because
yourself.
you really missing out on your worth. You really taking your worth down with that. For sure.
You
really
taking your worth down, bro. And he said, because what you think is what you manifest.
wow.
So, what you should do is maybe alter your behavior immediately.
Yeah.
Correct.
Start taking care of yourself and go get checked out.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, I gotta ask.
Somebody
this
gonna
question.
take that when I run for election again. They gonna chop that up and be like, Rhymefest, I know I got AIDS. Is this who you want on the school board? All context gone. Then I'm be like, hey, y'all gotta do a PSA and be like, nah, we really got a wholesome show at
Right,
Rhymefest.
nah, for sure.
Fact.
For sure.
But even still with that, though, Rhymefest.
Yeah, I ain't gonna, cause I be doing the clips. I ain't gonna do you like that.
no,
I ain't gonna do
But
you
even
like
still, bro, your smile is infectious. You know what I mean? Because like
To my pause.
you can no, come on, man, we grown men. Yeah. You can light up a room, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Your
yeah,
spirit, your morale, like what you bring, bro. It's enough for like someone to sit there and be in awe. You know what I mean? And that's disregarding all the accolades, like how you said.
Hey, that's why rappers gotta learn to stop frowning.
Yeah.
They don't know Will Smith got more by smiling than anybody y'all know did by frowning.
Facts.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's how do you smile when the culture teach you to start from a violent, non-loving space.
That part.
And that frowning is what make you cool.
That's the narrative they push, man.
Yeah.
Ryan, man, I heard you say that you wanted to work with Common, and when you finally got that opportunity to work with him, y'all created Glory. Is it anybody else that Rhymefest would like to work with, and is it any other achievements that you haven't reached that you would like to?
That's a beautiful question. The other day I was thinking I want to work with Rick Rubin. Cause he real, like, you know, I'm in my spiritual space.
Right.
And he's real, like, Buddhist with it. And I got to see him and Kanye work together. And I thought that was really beautiful. I got to see Kanye and Elon Musk play board games, and Jay-Z and Kanye play board games. And with Kanye and Elon play board games, it was interesting because you're watching an artist and a strategic tactician play a game, and the artist is playing from like patterns, and the tactician is playing from numbers. And you start seeing that art and science is actually the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They meet at the same point. You know, and you could get to the same space a mathematician can get to with poetry. You know what I'm saying? So I started seeing that. Rick Rubin, I want to work with him. Who else would I want to work with? I want to work with the Dalai Lama.
That's different.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama, he got some power, some like wisdom. I want to work with the wisest people. So, and then I want to put art to the wisdom. I want to, they sending people to space. I want to go on one of them rockets, go to space, and make an album from space. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that type of stuff. That's what I want to. Accolade, what's the accolade that I want that I ain't got yet?
Is there any other achievements that you seeking, or that I'm sure you probably didn't seek out the Grammy or the Oscar or any of that,
but anything where it's like, oh, what's a desire?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want dual citizenship somewhere else, and I'm looking at land in Panama. I got a school, and my wife and I manage a school in Arusha, Tanzania, an elementary school. We looking at buying some land out there and growing coffee and shipping it back, and doing international trade. I got a DJ program in Senegal, and I'm building some water wells and schools in the sub-Saharan desert called Mauritania, where the real Moors are from. And I've been working with Moors from Africa, the real Moors. And so, not that the other ones ain't, if you believe you are, but I know the Moors you doing that from. And so I'm working with those tribes of people, and I want to increase my global imprint. That's my desire.
That's dope. So people, all right, we gotta go, but people, since we've been posting you on our page, man, people been asking, will Rhymefest run for mayor?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to ever be the king. Kings are whack. Anybody in like leadership, me, nigga, like whack. Like, you know, it's better for me to be in the court.
Okay.
Kings sit with their back to the wall. Kings got to have peasants. Leaders are targeted. You know what I'm saying? And I've been seeing I thought I wanted to be the leader. I thought I wanted to be the rapper. I wanted to be the one just next to Ye, next to Common, woo. And I've seen my peers surpass me in mainstream success. But I've been learning the power of being where I'm at. And I've been learning the power of service, not charging. And man, like, I wouldn't trade this for nothing. So why would I put myself out there? Why would I put myself out there like, look at me, look at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you do that, you asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Now, if it was required of me, I wouldn't say no.
Okay.
Right.
So Dr. King didn't want to lead the civil rights movement. It was required of him because he was the only one that, at that point, that could do it for them people. Mayor Harold Washington did not want to be mayor. He was a congressman.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be mayor of Chicago. But there was an opportunity for a black mayor, and he was the only one that could win. And so the community got together. I'm tired of going out there doing stuff and people don't create a palette for us to do it.
Wow.
Everybody always be like, go fight. and then you go jump in the fight for people, and they be like, "You got it." You be like, "Nigga, help me!"
Right.
They're like, "You got him. You're the best. You're a good fighter." Like, nah, man. Don't throw me in nobody fight.
Yeah.
And I'm not. You know, the reason I love doing the school board thing and kind of doing this level of politics is because the trick to me not selling the people out is that I paid for it myself, and I ain't political.
Yeah.
I'm a community guy. I'm a spiritual guy. So I don't care what the bureaucracy want. This is what the people need.
Right.
When you run for mayor, you need about 50 million.
Yeah.
I get political real quick, and that'll be the death of me.
I feel that.
You know what's funny? People don't, power is enchanting, and people don't know when not to be in the head. When somebody offer them power, they just take it. Like, power is enchanting, and you got to check yourself around the enchantment of power.
Facts.
Damn.
Love y'all.
Man,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so
Man,
much for coming,
man.
Rhymefest, man.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
everything.
Hey,
Thank you, man.
We got to do it more. Let's just do some, we should do like, every quarter, do like a check-in.
Let's do it.
Right.
Yeah, with that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
do it.
And then do like, even if it's just like one subject, like Bring Me Out Love, when y'all talk about women, relationships, funerals.
Oh, we could have did that whole thing. No, I'm just kidding.
We can do that whole thing. I love that subject.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you in my lane now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
Black
definitely
folk.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah, for
black
sure.
love. Like I say, when you
Black love.
brought that up, it touched me. That's why, like, when you was like, "Man, I gotta go," I'm like, "Man, fuck you, nigga, sit down. You can miss that movie. Watch it tomorrow."
Yeah.
But when you call the wifey, I'm like, "Oh no, he can't miss that."
Oh, man.
You finna get in trouble.
I just got, bro, before we go, I love my wife so much. My wife right now saved my life. We've been on spiritual journeys all around the world. Not only have we done the meditation, we've done ayahuasca in the jungles of Peru. We got married in the pyramids in Mexico doing peyote under the stars.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
We've done bofo toad venom together and traveled to different universes and came back and looked at each other like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and understood we couldn't be with nobody but each other after that.
That's
Nah, that's
dope.
facts.
So,
That's
you know,
dope.
everything we saying, you know, about a lot of different things are things that I've been able to learn from. But man, the woman I'm with right now has taught me more than I've learned in decades.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Blessings, man.
Yeah.
Blessings, man.
real.
Jeez.
And when y'all ready, I'm gonna show y'all when y'all get y'all money up, and it ain't that much, and y'all ready, let's go on some of these journeys.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
I'll take y'all places you never knew existed. We can go to Wyoming, to Cody, where Kanye had the ranch. I got a little spot out there. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out there. Let me take you hiking. Ride a horse. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Shoot some
different.
guns.
Something
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
Something
change your
different.
life.
Yeah, something different.
Something
yeah.
different.
Yeah,
See,
get
yeah.
out the hundreds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Get out the south
See,
side
it's
because a
more
lot
to
of
it,
people
yeah.
that's all that they know.
From the Wild Hunters to the Wild West
Yeah,
and
for
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
We got to run it back, Rhyme. Thank you so
Love.
much for
Yeah,
coming,
thank
man.
you,
Thank
Rhyme.
so
Yes,
much.
sir. Yes, sir.
all day, man.
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
Ryan. We appreciate you.
All right.
All right, love,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Can we get you for a drop real quick?
And I want to hear that song too.
Man, it's crazy as hell, man.